was asking this question of like exploration because Nasir keeps writing in newspaper also. So you have written about Irfan Khan, about like different kinds of writing that you are engaging with, and therefore I was asking this question. Also related to this is a question about your teaching. I heard a lot about your teaching in NSD, National School of Drama. So you had like quite a passion for teaching. So what happened to that passion, or still you are carrying that passion?
Oh, it's still very much there.
Yeah.
And I don't like to call it teaching. I like to call it helping young actors, because I did not find too many people who extended a helping hand. I did not find at the Film Institute. And in the Film Institute, there were 22 of us in the class. We finished in 1975. Out of the 22, 2 have survived. Myself and another actor called Shakti Kapoor. There you are. Yeah, so he learned what he had to learn, and I learned what I had to learn. It was quite as simple as that. He learned what proved to be useful to him. But even at that time, I used to often question the kind of stuff that was that passed for acting classes, both at NSD and at the FTII. And I resolved to try and go about and find a system which was comprehensible, which didn't include 18-syllable words, and which dispensed with terminology of all kinds, and which helped the actor find their own expressiveness, their own sense of imagination and how to use it. And the desire is to impart what I've learned to young actors, and I'm also aware that if out of a batch of 30 people I can get across even to one, that's good enough for me. At least I've got through to one person. I mean, when I was in school in Nainital, there was this theatre troupe called Shakespeareana, which used to tour every year. And they were the biggest influence on me. They were magical, absolutely. And through them, I learned that the greatest service you can do into the theatre is to be a servant of the text, not try to display your wares all the time, but communicate what you want to. And therefore, my stint with working with young actors continues. I no longer come to the drama school in Delhi because things have changed over there, but I still work with young actors whenever I get the opportunity. There are several acting schools in Bombay. They're sprouted like mushrooms all over the place, and most of them do more damage than good. But
so if any of you are thinking of going to Bombay and joining one of those schools, please save your money. Watch movies, read, you'll learn more that way.
Yeah, and somewhere I realized that, which is something I emphasize to young actors, that don't respond to something viscerally. It shouldn't be enough for you just to say, I liked that performance or I didn't like that performance. You should know in both cases why. And so what I try to do is help them with stimulating their imagination and imparting to them how to use your imagination in your work. It's probably given me more than it's given any student.
Yes, and Ratna, as you were saying that you lived with one play for a long time, and the way the interpretations change and new ways of thinking comes into interpreting the text itself. So one is that this is a personal also question to you, that when you stepped into that iconic Khoobsurat role in the film, the remake of the film, the one which...
I know what you mean.
Yeah. So one is living with that role, how you interpreted it in a way, and then
Future of theatre.
The future.
And the imminent death of theatre.
The imminent death of theatre. It will not happen. It will, even if it to me, the word theatre itself means meeting place. It does not mean a stage and curtains and lights and colored effects and this and that and helicopters landing on the stage. It means a meeting place. It is a place where you meet people, and therefore in our theatre we have decided to dispense with all the formalities associated with theatre. No more creation of a mystery, chamber music playing and purple light glowing while the audience comes in and the actors all hidden away. No, we've dispensed with all that nonsense. We now make direct contact with the audiences. We sometimes come on stage and chat with them before the play begins. We arrange the set sometimes in front of them. And we try to break the ice. Because the audience is as self-conscious as the actors, sometimes more. Particularly in a small space like the Prithvi Theatre, where there's just 200 people. The guy in the first row, he feels like, hey, I'm being watched as well, you know. So, and I feel it creates a distance. And therefore we have decided to completely do away with all this and found it to be a very enriching experience. To me, people often ask me, थिएटर में तो बड़ा मजा आता है ना, वो कंटिन्यूअस होता है सब कुछ, which is all nonsense. कहाँ कंटिन्यूअस होता है? Theatre, maybe one scene takes place now, one scene takes place 6 months later. I was playing Gandhi in a play, in which in the first scene I'm the old Gandhi, and with a break of about 1 minute, I had to change into the young Gandhi, which means I had to get rid of my bald wig, my whitened moustache. At that time it was black, and get rid of my dhoti, put on a pair of trousers, shoes, socks, shirt, tie, waistcoat, coat within a minute, and I would exit from here.
And a wig.
And a wig.
The young man's wig.
Yeah, and I'll have to enter from there. And in that 1 minute, I'd go rushing across, tearing off my dhoti and rubbing off the whiteness and quickly get. And I was saying to myself, theatre continuously hota hai. Continuous hota hai. It's not like that. So it's not that at all. It's not the applause. It's not the laughter. And actors often feel if the audience is not laughing, they're not enjoying the play. I enjoy silences in the audience much more than I enjoy approval, overt approval. To me, it is a way of getting across. It's a way of getting across, which is something I find a little taxing to do in real life. But here on the stage, I can reach every single person in the audience in a very intimate kind of a manner, without getting involved in their personal lives. And
with beautiful words. Somebody else's beautiful words we get a chance to say.
Somebody else's beautiful words. And in the pandemic, we performed online greatly. And several actors said, well, this online performing is horrible. You can't see the audience, you can't do this, you can't hear their... And to me, it made no difference at all. Because even though I couldn't see the audience, there was this green light I had to make contact with. Because that green light is the eye of every person who's watching. And if I could do that without bothering about whether they're laughing or whether they're crying or whether they're silent, and in any case, an actor's performance should not depend on these things. Your concern should be to get across. And this kind of getting across I find most stimulating.
Yes, I would, because I'm seeing a trend in India, at least in Mumbai. I can't talk about India because it's just too varied. But in Mumbai, I'm seeing this trend that there are people who tend to do smaller productions in places like Prithvi and the NCPA Experimental, or tiny little spaces, hall seating 50 people, hall seating 100 people. कॉलेजेस में कुछ लोगों के पास कुछ कॉलेजेस हमको उनके थिएटर्स में परफॉर्म करने देते हैं. इट्स अ कांस्टेंट बैटल टू फाइंड अ परफॉर्मेंस स्पेस. इट्स अ कांस्टेंट बैटल टू कीप एक्टर्स टुगेदर, क्योंकि एक्टर्स को भी तो कमाना पड़ता है. तो आज रोल मिल गया कहीं तो वो चले जाएंगे और उनको कुछ कह भी नहीं सकते आप, क्योंकि हम आपको कुछ पैसे नहीं दे रहे हैं, तो कहीं तो आपको खाना पड़ेगा ना, तो कहीं से तो कमाना पड़ेगा आपको. सो दीज काइंड ऑफ इश्यूज आर रियली वेरी बिग. And yet, the fact that this kind of theatre has continued relentlessly in India, in Mumbai, from the time I remember as a child, There was always the Marathi commercial theatre, the Gujarati commercial theatre, but there was always somebody doing something in the alternative spaces. So ये दोनों साथ में चलते रहे हैं और अभी भी चलते हैं. But now I'm seeing that there are people coming in with large amounts of money. Theatre was never a very big earning proposition for most of the practitioners. जो प्रोड्यूसर है मराठी नाटक का वो पैसे कमाता है, मगर वो बांटता भी है थोड़ा सा. But there wasn't a huge amount of money even for him to बांटो. So क्योंकि पैसे कम थे इसीलिए थिएटर कुछ हद तक क्या कहते हैं जरा सा मीनिंगफुल रहा. बट अब पैसे आने लगे हैं, बड़े बड़े हॉल बन गए हैं. कहीं रिलायंस ने एक बहुत 2000 सीट वाला ऑडिटोरियम बनाया है, उनके 300 सीट वाला ऑडिटोरियम भी 1.5 लाख रुपया उसका रेंट है. तो कौन जाएगा वहां? हम तो नहीं जा सकेंगे. वी कांट अफोर्ड दैट काइंड ऑफ स्टफ. सो द थिएटर इज बीइंग प्राइस्ड आउट ऑफ माय रीच. द परफॉर्मेंस स्पेस नाउ द काइंड ऑफ प्लेस. पहले तो मैं क्लियरली कहती हूँ, खुले आम चोरी करते थे. कहीं से नाटक अच्छा लग गया, किसी को भी पूछे बगैर या तो उसका एडेप्टेशन कर लिया या उसका परफॉर्मेंस कर लिया. किसी को पता ही नहीं चलता था. शेक्सपियर और शॉ के नाटक तो कोई पूछने नहीं आता, उनका कॉपीराइट का भी मसला नहीं होता था. मगर कोई भी बेचारे, मतलब सैमुअल बेकेट को भी हमने ऐसे ही कर दिया पहले शुरू में. लेकिन नाउ देयर इज कॉपीराइट. आप इतना सा गाना नहीं यूज कर सकते. दुबे यूज्ड टू यूज ऑल हिंदी फिल्म सॉन्ग्स एज पार्ट ऑफ हिज बैकग्राउंड म्यूजिक. ही सेज क्यों? That is the folk music of India today, no? Film songs is the folk music. किसको आते हैं? शादी के गाने गा सकती हो तुम? मैं तो नहीं गा सकती. और सच है कि जो लोरी सुना सकते हो तुम, फिल्मों की लोरी छोड़ करके नहीं सुना सकती. So these are our popular culture connections. तो he used to use them. आज आप वो नहीं कर सकते. More than 10 seconds यूज करोगे तो सारे गमा आके सर पे बैठ जाएगा. कि ना आप दो हमको पैसा, और छोटा मोटा पैसा नहीं. सो यू आर कॉन्स्टेंटली फाइटिंग बैटल्स एट एवरी फ्रंट. अव्वल तो नाटक नहीं मिलते, जब मिलते हैं तो ये मुसीबतें आ जाती हैं. एंड देन देयर आर दीज अदर्स हु आर कमिंग इन विद बैग्स ऑफ मनी एंड पुशिंग प्लेस व्हिच आर मोरलेस लाइक फिल्म्स. मुगले आजम विद फुटेज रनिंग ऑफ द ओल्ड बैटल सीन्स. फिल्म की फुटेज रन कर रहे हैं वो पीछे. द सेम प्रोड्यूसर Shakur Ji Palan ji, दोनों का. So they got the permission, they got the copyright for that. So these are the kind of plays they are taking. They are pushing. Disney, Beauty and the Beast आएगा और 6-6, 7-7, 10-10 हजार रुपए की टिकटें और मिलती नहीं आपको टिकट. महाभारत, रामायण, पुनीत सर टाइप के परफॉर्मर्स. They are performing and they get lots of houses, full houses. हम लोगों को तो पृथ्वी को छोड़ कहीं नहीं full house मिलता. So these are the kind of battles. Money is coming into the picture. They feel that there is a large population with enough squanderable income कि जिनको आप टैप कर सकते हो, जिनको आप थिएटर में बुला सकते हो. और जो लोग लंदन जाकर के ब्यूटी एंड द बीस्ट नहीं देख पाएंगे वो बम्बई में देख लेंगे. सो दैट इक्वेशन आई एम वेरी वरीड अबाउट. दैट विल हैपन, आई एम अफ्रेड.
I have a feeling that kind of theatre won't last.
I'm hoping.
And it is our prayer that it doesn't, because it's meaningless stuff. It's part magic show, part lighting design, part rock concert, part magic, part God knows what, part film.
Fashion show, of course.
Fashion show. But the kind of theatre which is meaningful, and that is what I tell theatre students, and if there's anybody among you students who is keen on doing theatre, the only advice I can give you is don't wait for the ideal opportunity. Don't wait for the best script you can find, the best cast you can find, the best director you can find, the best theatre you can find. It won't happen. If you are keen to do theatre, it's killing you not to be able to. No one can stop you. Memorize a poem, memorize a story, get 2 friends of yours to sit and listen to it. There's theatre right away.
I'm sure in JNU